Subscribe and follow us. Subscribe for more exciting updates about the world of cars, including reviews, test drives, and exclusive content. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest information on 2024 car mods and other upcoming releases. The Honda Pilot is agreeable and bounty open for its front and center line travelers. However, it falls behind class pioneers in third-line room and freight space, and its tech is a half-step disappointing. As far as by and large allure, a few contenders convey all the more value for your money. Outline: the Honda Pilot has for some time been a #1 in the regular 3-column hybrid class. An intensive overhaul for 2023 removed it outwardly from the Odyssey with which it shares its foundation. Yet the Pilot actually packs a large part of the common sense of a minivan. It's roomy, with an abundance of capacity cubbies and savvy subtleties like second-column situates that slide forward at the hint of a button to assist little ones with getting to the rearward sitting arrangement. And each of the 3 columns are agreeable, however the manner in which back gets cozy for grown-ups. The overhauled V6 is strong enough for a most extreme towing limit of 5,000 pounds, yet still moderately eco-friendly. Like Honda's top-rated CR-V, the Pilot simply appears to do everything admirably, with relatively straightforward or pomp. In any case, others in the class are focusing in on Honda's recipe and tossing in some exhibition for purchasers who need it. Vehicles like the Hyundai Palisade and Kia Telluride Twins and the Mazda CX-90 match the Pilot on many fronts while offering a more extravagant feel. On the off chance that space and flexibility are your main needs, the Pilot conveys. Be that as it may, purchasers searching for something more upscale will track down convincing options in this class. Execution. How does the Pilot drive? Driving the Pilot is a mishmash. The V6 sounds snarly when you hurry up, however genuine speed increase is just normal. At the Edmonds test track, our Pilot Trailsport test vehicle dealt with the 0-60 mph run in 7.8 seconds. The transmission is excessively occupied, particularly in and out of town. That can likewise cause the Pilot to feel excessively excited and delicate to gas pedal information sources while advancing from a stop. Slowing down is smooth, however the pedal is delicate and numb, and we viewed the Pilot's crisis halting distances as longer than normal. For daring families, the Pilot Trailsport is one of the more proficient 3-line hybrids for light rough terrain obligation because of its additional ground leeway. The all-wheel drive framework is another potential gain. Notwithstanding the normal lift in footing for cold or blanketed streets, it can likewise rearrange the V6's ability to make the Pilot significantly more agile around turns. In any case, the directing is light and needs feel, and it gives no genuine feeling of what's the deal with the street. Solace. How agreeable is the Pilot? The front seats and discretionary second-line skipper's seats are enjoyably delicate without surrendering support. The front seats miss the mark on degree of flexibility a few contenders offer, so not every person will get the most solace out of them. The Pilot's suspension smooths out most knocks effortlessly. However, particular kinds of lopsided asphalt can feel sharp and a piece clearly in the lodge. In general, wind, street, and motor commotion is low, yet the lodge isn't exactly just about as calm as first-class contenders like the Kia Telluride. The environment framework is easy to change and strong enough for the enormous lodge. Every one of the 3 columns get vents, yet vent arrangement for the second and third lines isn't ideal. Third-line vents specifically are put by the armrests, so grown-ups will get wind stream to their hands. Inside. How's the inside? The Pilot's inside is spacious and useful for the initial 2 lines, with bunches of extra room and somewhat better than expected perceivability for a vehicle of this class. The most recent Pilot's dashboard downplays buttons, yet we like how Honda figured out how to make the most normally utilized controls open, as opposed to covering them in a touchscreen menu, which can be the situation on different SUVs. Getting in and out is simple, with buttons to deliver the second column situates that even kids can actuate. There's sufficient seat travel that third-line access won't be a crush for most grown-ups. Front travelers are ruined for space in the Pilot, and the subsequent line is wide and obliging with bunches of legroom. Contenders like the Kia Telluride and Volkswagen Mapbook, be that as it may, have better third lines. Grown-ups will begin to feel squeezed in light of the fact that the high floor and practically non-existent tow room under the second-line seats will push their knees up. Innovation. How's the tech? The Pilot offers a lot of usable tech highlights, yet all in all, it's a half-step subpar. The infotainment, with remote telephone availability, works rapidly and is not difficult to explore. However, the 9-inch screen feels overshadowed by the huge lodge. It's sad the agreement's 12.3-inch screen isn't accessible here. There are a lot of spots to charge, including a remote charging cushion. There's just a single USB-C port accessible, notwithstanding. The rest are the less strong USB-A sort, which limits choices for telephones, tablets, and workstations that help quick charging. Honda outfits the Pilot with a lot of standard driver help highlights. Path-keeping help keeps the vehicle focused pleasantly, even at exceptionally low velocities. Be that as it may, while the versatile voyage control follows flawlessly at turnpike speeds, it's less certainty motivating in heavier rush-hour gridlock. In our testing, we found it too delayed to even consider responding to out-of-nowhere slowing down traffic, provoking the driver to mediate. It likewise requires provoking by means of a guiding wheel button or gas pedal to restart after even the briefest stop, so it doesn't save you much exertion. Capacity. How's the capacity? Contenders like the Buick Territory, Kia Telluride, and Hyundai Palisade offer more freight space. However, the Pilot has sufficient adaptable freight elements and little thing stockpiling to make it a supportive family hauler. The 50-50 split third-column seats are not difficult to deliver, which is great since there's no power-collapsing third line accessible, and they open up an enormous, in the event that not class driving, space. Stacking and dumping is simple with the floor in its most elevated position, so cumbersome things can slide in and out. With regards to little thing stockpiling, the Pilot is quite possibly of the best. Front travelers get an extra huge mid-control area plate and box, alongside a couple of additional cubbies for more modest things. Both the front and back entryways offer a lot of plate, pockets, and even cup holders for each seat that will fit a 40-ounce water bottle. Our aircraft tester Trailsport had the second column seat that accompanies a removable focus seat that can be put away under the freight floor in the storage compartment. A perfect element makes it simple to reconfigure the seating in view of your day's requirements. Eminently, the Pilot is one of a handful of the SUVs to have lock secures for every one of the 3 second-line seats. Efficiency. How's the efficiency? Contingent upon its gear, the Pilot has an EPA gauge of somewhere in the range of 20 mpg consolidated, 18 city 23 throughway for the all-wheel drive Trailsport to 22 mpg joined for a front-wheel drive model. On Edmund's genuine test course, our Pilot Trailsport test vehicle arrived at the midpoint of 22 mpg, and that implies drivers ought to have the option to match EPA gauges. This outcome is comparable to top V6 contenders, yet at the same time well off the Porsche's productivity chief, the Super 4-chamber Toyota Highlander, and without offering any faster speed increase. Esteem. Is the Pilot a decent worth? The Pilot gives a lot of utility and solace, and its inside is sturdily worked with strong plastics all around. Contenders spread all the more delicate touch materials around, particularly in higher trims. However, the Pilot feels work to persevere through day-to-day life. It's an optimal inside for tidying up with anything that wipes you have close by. Be that as it may, as far as value for your money, most rivals offer more highlights per dollar. You'll spend more than a few top contenders to get a top trim level, and surprisingly, then you'll have less highlights than on contenders like the Telluride. Kia and Hyundai additionally offer essentially longer guarantees. Special case. The Pilot is quite simple to live with, and the Trailsport's additional rough terrain capacity widens its allure. All things considered, it goes over to us as the survivor of a personality emergency. Honda has attempted to make it a lively, extreme, and rough and family-accommodating SUV across the board. In any case, this handyman approach implies it's an expert of none. The Pilot is at last great by and large, yet with few champion characteristics to suggest it. Which Pilot does suggest? We think the EXL is the right trim level for most purchasers. It's not significantly more costly than the base game trim. However, nets a ton of helpful highlights that incorporate remote cell phone combination, a 9-inch touchscreen, calfskin managed seating, and a power lift gate. With an additional inch of ground freedom, standard all-wheel drive, and a couple of other convenient elements, the Trailsport trim is a fascinating choice for purchasers whose gutsy way of life requests recuperation snares. Honda Pilot models. The 2024 Honda Pilot is a three-line SUV that seats up to 8 travelers. It's accessible in 6 trim levels: LX, Game, EXL, Trailsport, Visiting, and First Class. All are controlled by a 3.5-liter V6 motor, 285 strength, 262 lb-ft, mated to a 10-speed programmed transmission. Front-wheel drive is standard, and all-wheel drive is discretionary. Besides, on the Trailsport and First Class manages, which get all-wheel drive standard.